Michael Kugelman, who is the Deputy Director of the Asia Program and Senior Associate for South Asia at the Woodrow Wilson Center. Michael, appreciate you being with us. I first want to get your reaction to this citizenship law.
Well, I think it's very troubling. What it suggests to me is that India is going in a direction that it really has never gone in its history, and that is a situation where it is willing to discriminate on the basis of religion, which really goes against the bedrock principles of secularism and religious pluralism that have defined India's political system for its entire existence. And this is, of course, a case of a citizenship law that makes decisions on citizenship based on religion. And as you've noted, Muslim migrants are not eligible for citizenship under this law. So I do think that this is a very troubling development that could bode very ill and could be a very troubling indication of where things could be going in India in the very near future.
What kind of protest, or what kind of pressure, rather, Michael, do you think that these protesters are putting on the government?
Well, it's interesting because you have Indian Muslims. There are almost 200 million of them in the country. They're not happy. But you also have members of the Hindu majority in India, particularly the conservative nationalists who think that this new law will make it easier for immigrants to come in from these three countries who are not that are not Muslim. In other words, the sense that this law could encourage more immigration on the whole from these three countries. And many conservative Hindu nationalists don't want that type of immigration. So Modi is looking at not just opposition from Indian Muslims, but also from the very Hindu majority that he considers to be his rank and file. Given that you have significant economic problems in the country that Modi has been unable to fix, that suggests to me that a leader who's enjoyed a long honeymoon period in power, he could face some unprecedented political pressure very soon.
Michael, where is all of this likely to go?
Well, I think the key step is what happens next, in the sense that there's probably going to be a challenge for this law in the Supreme Court in India. And if the law is upheld, that will provide more momentum and could galvanize the opponents to come out on the streets again. So I think there's going to be a sense of waiting to see what happens when the challenge is brought to the Supreme Court. And I think it's unlikely that the Supreme Court will stand in the way of this law, meaning that it will become the law of the land. And I think that could really lead to more unhappiness, discontent, and more protests like the ones that we've been seeing play out over the last few days.
All right, Michael Kugelman with the Woodrow Wilson Center. Appreciate you being with us. Thanks for that.